All right, in this video, I'm just going to cover the origin of futures so you understand the concept of how you can make money whether the market is going down or going up, like how we can create our own economy. If you sell high and the market drops, you can make money. If you buy low and the market rises, you can make money. So the origin of futures actually comes from the agricultural market, okay? And what it was is, let's say that this is a graph of, we're gonna call this wheat prices, okay? Let me move this out of the way and grab my brush tool. Okay, so this is wheat, and this is a graph of wheat prices. This is the amount of money, and this is the months. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. When we're in June or July and all of a sudden people start to harvest wheat, which I don't actually know when people harvest. Okay, wheat is harvested in June. Okay, so perfect. So you're here in June and the price is at however many dollars a bushel, okay? Let's just say, and this is not a realistic number, but let's just say it's $10 a bushel, okay, at June. And all of a sudden, all the farmers start harvesting their wheat, okay? So now these millions of bushels of wheat start flooding in the market. Well, if you guys understand supply and demand, you know that all of a sudden the supply increases. And when the supply increases, what happens? The cost starts to go down because now there's a huge influx, okay? The market is flooded with wheat. So what farmers would do is they would come to an agreement and they would say, all right, I'm gonna hold on to my wheat. The broker who buys the wheat, I'm gonna make an agreement with you, and I'm gonna actually agree to sell the wheat to you. We're gonna agree at this price, which is gonna be a better price, but it's gonna be over in November or December, when all of this influx of wheat, that all of a sudden, this is wheat here, okay? The wheat comes into the market, and then as time goes on, what happens? People are consuming the wheat, it's not being harvested, and so it starts to come down, right? And then in the winter months, there's a lull where there's a low supply, which means there's demand of wheat, okay? But instead of selling when the price drops, because all of a sudden there's this huge influx of wheat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an agreement with the wheat broker who purchases it, that later on I'm going to sell it to you. I'm going to put it in a silo, and I'm going to sell it to you at this price, but I'm going to sell it to you in December when the stock is low. So I have a guaranteed good price on my wheat in a month where all of a sudden the demand is there later on when everybody else's price is gone and the prices fluctuate and all this other wheat's gone. We're going to make a future contract agreement that in the future I'm going to sell you this wheat at a certain price. And so the broker would lock in with the farmer a guaranteed price. The farmer would put the wheat in the silo, and then when the month came that was agreed upon, then they would sell them that wheat at that time. That's why it's called a futures contract, okay? It's also one of the reasons why Wall Street has the bull, because it literally, I don't know if you guys know this, but back in the day, Wall Street was literally like, it was a farm, literally. So it was animals was on Wall Street. So bulls, bears, like there's a lot of symbolism that ties into the whole thing. But all of it started with commodities, and it started with agriculture back in the day. So that is the history of futures. It actually comes out of the agricultural market, and that's one of the ways. Now, again, I was just explaining to everybody, how is it that you can sell high and make money if the market drops? Obviously, if you buy low and sell high, that makes sense to everybody. But the selling high, buying back low doesn't. So in order to explain that, it's like this, okay? And I'm gonna use my little person here. All right, you have let's say that you're a real estate person, okay? And this is, we're just going to call this guy Joe. Okay? Joe comes to you and Joe wants a house. Okay? And he says, this is what I'm looking for. I want a house that has a jacuzzi. It's got 3 bedrooms. It's got this, da-da-da-da-da-da. This is my ideal house. This is what I want. And I'm going to agree. I'm going to pay $100,000 for this house. Okay? And so we lock in a contract. I'm the real estate agent. So we'll give a little, this is me over here in green. All right, you're the little real estate guy. And where's my little color change? Right here. All right, so we're the green guy because we're making money, right? So Joe gives me $100,000. And he says, go find me a house. This is what I'm going to pay you. And you go out and you go start looking at houses, okay? Now, in order for us to make money, he's agreed to give me $100,000. In order for me to make money, the house that I find for Joe to buy needs to be under $100,000. So I go and I look at these houses, all right? House number 1 it's exactly what he wants, but it's $120,000. If I were to buy that house and go sell it to Joe, I would lose $20,000 on the deal, right? So we don't want to do that. And then there's this one over here, and let's say this is for $85,000, okay? If we chose that house to then turn around and go and buy with Joe's money to sell to Joe, right? And we get him that one, we would make $15,000 because, again, the price is lower than $100,000. And if we were to go find the exact house that Joe wanted for $60,000, we'd make $40,000 on that transaction because he gave us $100,000. So the lower the price of the house, the more money we make because we've locked in the deal for $100,000. He already gave us the money. We just have to go and find him the house. He's super rich. He just wants it as an investment property, but it's got to fit the bill. So he's not even looking at houses. He's sipping mimosas on the beach and he says, go find me a deal, okay? So you agree on the sell contract for $100,000. He gives it to you. You want to find a house that's below $100,000. You get that house and you make the difference. This is exactly the way that the futures contract works. You've made an agreement, and now in the future, you're going to give him a house that he's requested. He's paid you this much. The lower the house, the more money you're going to make. And this is why if you enter a contract, like if we were to say on this chart right here, let's just say we're looking at this chart right here. Let's say that up here, this is $100,000, okay? And let's say that down here at this level is $90,000, okay? And let's say down here is $80,000. And if the market was higher, like it was back up here, let's say that that's $120,000 up here. If the market from where I entered right here drops and it comes down and I close the deal on this other house down here between 90 and 80,000, I'm going to make that difference, right? Well, the way that it works on the chart is if I go back here, let's just press the replay button. If I come back here to what was the top of the market, and I sell one contract on the Micro E-mini NASDAQ. One contract for every tick in price. So if you use your measuring tool, you'll see there are ticks. It's 40 right there. It's on the right side of the box, top right. 50, 60, 70, right? So for every tick this moves, one micro contract is going to be roughly 50 cents. So you're going to see this moves at a rate of you can see it moving $5, $10, $15 at a time. Okay? Now if I come back up here and let's say instead of one contract, I sell this at 2 contracts. it's going to move twice as fast and it's going to be twice the amount. I've locked in a contract here and I've agreed to sell at $1 a tick. Okay? If you want to think of it like a contract on a house or something that someone has agreed, they've given you money, the lower the price, the more money you're going to make. The more contracts you add to this, the faster that price is going to move per tick. So this is where you have to appropriately use the right amount of contracts based on the amount of equity you have to trade with in the market. If a broker has given you $50,000 to go out and trade with, you need to manage your risk appropriately with your contracts, which when you start out, I recommend that you start out with one micro contract, just one per $50,000 in account. And then you can build on that from there as you get comfortable and as the amount of money you have in your account grows. Because when that person or that broker gives you money, if you increase it, they're going to keep a percentage. And they're saying, hey, I'm going to give you a certain amount of money to be able to trade with. As you increase it, I just want my cut. You can keep the rest. So you can grow your equity, and then later on you can take larger contract sizes from that initial amount of equity that you were able to trade, with only having to give a small amount of money of your own in order to become an agent, a 1099 you're a contractor. Your job is to go out and find better prices on buy and sell contracts. So that's the history of futures, and that's the way futures works. That's how you can take a sell, and when the market goes down, you make money, and also how you can take a buy, and when the market makes money. It's also why if you sell and the market rises, then you would lose money if you close the trade. And that's why if you were in a buy and the market drops, you would lose money if you close the trade. So that's the history and the way that the markets go and how buy and sell contracts work. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.